Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are recording on Tuesday, January 28th, a little bit early, but we're going to talk about the Bulls game today, obviously. But we're just getting the rest of this done beforehand. How you doing, Sam?
Well, I'm excited to be doing the pod. Not the most fun time to be involved with the Celtics, but nonetheless, we're here. We'll have a nice recap of the Bulls game for you, so stick around for that. We're going to go around the NBA, check up on the standings, talk about the latest on Jimmy, then we'll do the rat list, get up out of here. Should be a fun show. Stick around, leave a like, subscribe, tell us what you thought of the Bulls game. We're here every single day with new content, so hit the bell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll get right into that Bulls game. Hopefully we have a more upbeat one than the Raptors, or Rockets one, I should say, for you. All right, we are here after the Celtics win over the Chicago Bulls, bounce back after the loss to the Rockets. Celtics pick up a 122-100 victory. Dominant win for the C's, almost wire to wire. Bulls led very, very briefly midway through the first quarter, but then it was dominance from there. KP, huge game. Jaylen played well. Just solid all-around performance from the Celtics.
Yeah, they were due. They kind of owed everybody one after the other day. Even though the other day, like, it wasn't the kind of game that you were banging your fists. It was just a good game against a good team, but still should have lost it. But anyways, today we're past that. Porzingis was a joy to watch right from the get-go. Coming out there, making all the threes, 3 of 3, 4 of 4 from the field to start. I think he had 15 first quarter points. He went berserk. And he's been doing this lately, right? Like, it's really good to see Porzingis shooting confidently. When he came back from his injury, he was not knocking down threes consistently. Got to the point where it was almost looking like a confidence thing where he wasn't taking as many and he wasn't really being asked to take as many. And I think that actually might be part of, obviously, as a whole, we've talked so much about if the threes go in, everything's better. But him specifically not being sharp, I think made the integration that much harder because you're just waiting and you kind of have to get him involved even if he's not ready for it. So I think that's been part of the problem. But even then, he's been playing pretty well over the last couple weeks. So I don't know, but it was really cool to see him pop off. Got to see a good Jaylen game today. Oh, I feel like just about everybody that played a decent game, which was good because I feel like the team needed that. They really needed a game where it felt like they were dominating today. Derrick White played well too. He looked like the old aggressive Derrick White. I feel like he hasn't been that aggressive over the last couple months either. Tell me if I'm tripping. Is he still driving to the basket as much, in your opinion? Do you think he's still getting inside for the floaters? I feel like we haven't seen as many floater
No,
attempts or made
because
floaters from him.
No, because there's a 7'2" Latvian standing there most of the time.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I bet you money his shot percentage, his number of twos, drops off immediately when Kristaps returned from injury. It's just they have to play differently. I mean, Noah was saying, Derrick White said after a recent game, he's like, yeah, I'm scoring less because Kristaps, he's here. So he didn't say it in a malicious way, but he's like, yeah, no shit. This dude needs touches. Where are the touches going to come from? Probably not Jason. Probably not Jaylen. Who's the next guy? Mr. White.
Well, what is this? 2 out of the last 3, he's been very good. It's a good sign for the Celtics. I mean, for a while, barometer, Derrick White. If he's playing well, they're going to play well.
Yes. Sticking with Kristaps for a second, man. This guy has taken the phrase cheat code to another level. It's so ridiculous to watch him play basketball right now. He took 14 threes in this game, and none of them felt like, why are you taking that? He shot 8 of 14. He was 10 of 18 from the field, 6-6 from the line, and another double-double. He had 34, 11, 3, and 3 steals in this game. And he still wasn't the best plus minus. But it's just, he is so impactful for dictating how the Celtics offense can bend other teams. Nikola Vucevic isn't going to guard him at the three-point line, and so he's going to have a million open threes, and that's why he played well in this game. But then in another game, like the Nuggets game, when they don't have Jokic, they're going to stick a smaller guy on him, or switch onto him, and he's just going to post and get 1 million points in the post. Like, there are so many different things Kristaps brings to the Celtics offense, and I still do think it's a process, and they're still working on the process, and they're probably like getting closer to 100% in that regard of reintegrating him into the lineup and figuring out exactly how they want to play. And that's probably part of the reason why they haven't been quite as good for the past couple months. But having him right now is amazing, and in the playoffs is going to be an ultimate cheat code if he can stay healthy too, because we missed out on that for most of last postseason.
Yep. Hilarious. Dude's just a big slingshot, firing line drives down through the bottom of the net. Like, his shot has seemingly no arc just because he's tall. Hilarious to watch him just pull up from the logo. Like, he had 2 or 3 today that was just, how far away can I get? How like much can I just troll
The last
fucking
one he hit
post,
was
dude?
stupid.
Yeah, he was actually like at the logo. I feel like you don't see a lot of players shoot logo 3. I feel like a lot of teams actually make their logo bigger so they can be like, look, logo 3. Celtics are not one of them. That's for sure. Not a lot of logo 3s in TD Garden.
No, not a lot. But yeah, KP was amazing. Derrick White was good too, like you said. Obviously, threes went down, so that helped. Good Jaylen game again. 28 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, no turnovers. 10 of 18, only 1 of 5 from 3, but he's really weaning out a lot of the threes that don't come within the flow of the offense, which is very good. Aggressive Jaylen tonight was a good thing. He's been doing such a good job of forcing the shots that he wants to take rather than taking the shots that the defense is giving him. He's been driving super well. He's hitting those mid-range shots. The Bulls just didn't have anybody who could guard him, and they didn't have anybody who could guard Kristaps either. But Jalen's been playing really well lately.
Jaylen was really mean to Julian Phillips on one of the fourth quarter drives. Just went right through him. I don't know how much like you guys were able to see it upstairs, but on the broadcast, like they've replayed it and everything. Scal called it out when it happened. He must have knocked him back like 5 feet when he drove into him. Like, Jaylen is a fucking tank. I would hate like I would have hit the fucking floor if that. I mean, obviously, but like insane bodying from Jaylen. He gets a layup out of it, and it was just like another one of those games where he was engaged. It's just a little different than the game that we saw the other day, where when it wasn't his time, he wasn't continuing to try and do everything. Against the Rockets, we kind of came on here after and we're like, is it a bad thing when Jaylen gets off to a good start because then he just thinks he's Superman? We didn't see that today. I think part of it had to do with Kristaps so obviously being on fire in the first quarter.
And
like,
that
they went back to that
them.
rotation too, where Jaylen comes out halfway through the quarter instead of Tatum.
Yes.
And I think that kind of prevented like anything crazy in the first quarter for Jaylen either. But good to see him continuing to play good ball. Like, he's getting back to the player we saw in the playoffs last year. He looks like he's more comfortable playing within the team. And honestly, I think that has a lot to do with Tatum. Like, credit to him. Tatum took the 3rd most shots on the team today. It wasn't like his offensive night. Like, he had a couple cool moments where he made some tough shots, made a good 3 or long 2 at the end of the half. Had a good couple shot creation moves that didn't fall. Like, he broke Kobe White twice. Didn't make the shots, but like he didn't like force. He didn't really take himself out of the game because he wasn't the guy today. He read the room, and it takes a really big superstar to do that, especially because all season we've heard about, oh, is he going to be MVP? If you're like an MVP like hound, you're not looking at this game. You're like, oh man, like 16 points for Tatum. How does this guy think he's in the MVP conversation? I mean, I think he would like to be the MVP, but like, this is an example of him just being like, all right, like, it's not my night. Sure. Again, still took 15 shots, but it didn't feel like he was like trying to do too much.
You say read the room. When the room throws as many double teams at Jason Tatum as the Bulls did in this game, like, I do studs and duds every game. One of my duds was doubling Jason Tatum. It is truly the most baffling decision defenses continue to make. And don't get me wrong, Jason Tatum's an incredible player. He will beat a one-on-one matchup 50% of the time, 60% of the, like he will. He just will. He's that good. Kristaps Porzingis had 30 fucking points, and they still doubled Tatum off of Kristaps. How is that an option? How is doubling Tatum 5 feet behind the 3-point line and giving Kristaps a wide open three the game plan? That does, and it's not even just the Bulls. This is a consistent thing. The Mavs doubled in the playoffs last year. Everyone doubles him. Everyone just sends bodies at Tatum. And don't get me wrong. Like I said, Tatum's a great player. It doesn't work. Like, it so painfully clearly does not work, and they still keep doing it. Jason Tatum had a couple passes tonight where they doubled him from the corner, and he just threw the ball across the court to the corner. Guys, newsflash, hey, how about them Celtics here telling you, stop fucking doing it. Or maybe keep doing it for the sake of the Celtics. Keep doing it, because, I mean, Tatum could have came out here after the game and said, I really hate the way teams are guarding me. I hate playing like this. I'm a scorer. Like, this stinks. Guess what? He didn't do that. He just played good. He played well. He had, I don't know how many assists, and the Celtics probably sold some. He had 5 assists.
5.
But he passed, and half the time that pass led to an open shot too. Like, how was that the plan? I'm going to pull it up because Kristaps hit the shot, I think. Literally, like, Kristaps had 7 or 6, 7 threes at this point.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And they were like, oh, Kristaps is going to be wide open. I wonder what we should do here. Jason Tatum has the ball. Let's just double him. Like, I don't get it. How can that be the plan?
Move.
Hold up, let me find it. He ended up missing the 3, Kristaps, because the one I just looked at wasn't the one I was thinking of, and I remember what side of the floor it was on. So he missed the shot. But regardless, like, it was an inconceivable decision that the Bulls made to double Jason Tatum instead of guarding Kristaps Porzingis. Look at this. Look at this. At this point, Kristaps has made 8 threes. So he didn't make this one. This is the last 3 he attempted. He has 8 made threes on 13 attempts. Jason Tatum is a good 5 feet behind the 3-point line, and there are 2 Bulls defenders within a foot of Jason Tatum, and Kristaps Porzingis gets an open 3.
Not for nothing, like, Billy Donovan, quit trolling, dude. It's a 21-point game with 2 minutes left. They pissed me off tonight because this game was so clearly over for an extended period of time. They were fouling. They were throwing doubles at Tatum, like, in the fucking game. But there was a play like that earlier in the game, by the way.
Yes.
Like, in the first half, they just blitzed Tatum off. Like, the blitz guy was off of Porzingis. And I was just like, the guy is scorched earth right now. You're going to leave him? Maybe some of that has to do with, like, they feel the Celtics might be vulnerable. And it's like, maybe we can piss Tatum off because he has to play out of his comfort zone. But clearly it isn't working.
Last year, too. This is like a consistent decision teams make, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like,
it's stupid.
Clearly doesn't work. Clearly bad strategy. Do it every game, though, please, because it prevents the watch this offense, and it also makes things a lot easier for him in terms of decision making and the rest of the team in terms of open shots. Even though open shots have been unkind.
Yes, Drew Holiday had a pretty down first half, but I thought he had a good third quarter and turned it around a little bit. Peyton Pritchard was a monster in this game too. He only had 10 points, but he had 7 assists, 2 steals, 2 rebounds. Like, did a little bit, of everything for them. So 1-2 punch from the guards there. Pretty solid night. Yeah,
the Peyton Drew thing is interesting. Like, Peyton played. I mean, I know this game was a blowout, and Peyton loves to play the. I don't want to call them garbage time minutes, but like game decided minutes / he's the guy that's going to get the extra run if it's like 4 starters and then 1 extra guy. It's going to be Peyton because they just kind of want to keep the miles off Drew. 11 more minutes than Drew today. Interesting trend. Feels like Pritchard has become the closing time guy a lot more frequently now. And I thought he was good today. Like, had some fun moments. Did a good job distributing the ball. Very careful with the ball, despite like 7 assists, 1 turnover. Always has been efficient in that category. I think he's always been like a top assist turnover ratio type guy. Drew's fine. Like, I thought the third quarter was great. He had that sick offensive rebound pass to Tatum. That was like awesome highlight. I think he had he had 4 offensive rebounds in this game. He was all over the offensive glass. He is a guy that will make an impact without scoring. So another example of it today. Speaking of Jaden Springer, A lot of minutes today for the man. Very happy for him. Made a 3.
Played good.
Bunch
Made a
of
3. Took a
rebounds.
3, which is good. Good to see him taking shots. He passed one up early in the game, and then he didn't do that again. So it's good to see him.
He
learning
got
from his
killed
mistakes,
on that drive.
unlike others. Yeah, they got a little bit of face there. But yeah, no, Jaden Springer, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block. He's good, man. He can play. He's very fun defender to watch. Noah and I are having fun watching him upstairs. He just knows how to be in the right spots. He knows when to infiltrate passing lanes. He puts great pressure on the ball. I'd love to see him get more minutes like he did tonight. So we'll see. There are 8 days till the trade deadline, so the future is up in the air, I suppose. But he's certainly made a case for either okay trade value or maybe we should play this guy a little bit more.
I almost feel like it's like maybe you should play this guy more. I mean, I'm biased. I've been
Clearly.
on the Springer train like since pretty much since they got him. Like I've always liked the way he plays defense. Like thought he was a fun project type guy. I think when you have that defensive baseline, like of like just being a freak, he truly is fun to watch. Like Jack's not lying. He's not like nerding out. Like not never, but like it's not as common for me to like sit and watch a game and be like, look at the defense this guy is playing. Jaden Springer plays defense like that guy in like your pickup run that's playing defense too hard and it is annoying everybody. Like he does that for every single possession. He's always doing that. If you have a guy that's willing to do that, isn't fouling. He had 1 foul in this game.
Quickly, before we jump in to the rest of the show, I do need to tell you guys about PrizePicks because PrizePicks is the best place to get your action. And for the big game, Sam, Patrick Mahomes only needs 1 passing yard for you to win 1 square of the promotion they are running. Philly versus Kansas City. Questions that they're offering for this PrizePicks action here. Saquon, will he rush for more than 112.5 pass rushing yards? Excuse me. Will Jalen Hurts pass for more than 215.5? Travis Kelce, more than 62.5. Xavier Worthy, more than 56.5 receiving yards. I mean, I don't know how much you've been paying attention to the playoffs, but Saquon Barkley has been kind of God. So I think I'd probably go with some Saquon Barkley action if I was looking at PrizePicks myself. That said, Sam and I have used PrizePicks a bunch of times. We are not the best at it, admittedly. We try our best. Maybe we need to bring it back in the pregame, rejuice up the luck a little bit. But make sure to download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you pay your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.
Why would you not try and integrate him, make him feel comfortable in the offense? And I feel like the Celtics are almost learning that. They kept him on the shelf for so long. And like, I get it. There's 3 great guards in front of him. Like, there's not a lot of minutes to go around.
Yes.
But as this Drew Holiday like protection program is going on, get him in there. Get him the experience.
Mm-hmm.
He did an interview with Zach Cox. It came out today. He was like, I'm happy. What is he going to say? I'm happy here. Like, I like being around this team. I like these guys. Like, we obviously won a championship. He's like, I don't want to get traded. He's 22. A guy that's 22 and like can clearly play to some degree could easily be like, well, like if I get traded, maybe I'll get more opportunity. And like, if he publicly said that, I don't think anybody would be like, well, yeah, what an asshole. Like, no, like, I think we'd all like understand. I wonder if he's like looking around and like reading this and being like, well, I have Drew and Derrick to like learn from defensively, and then Peyton's here, and like there's so many different players from him to like just kind of take things from and maybe grow his game. He's not going to be like an all-star, I don't think, but he could be a key rotation piece.
The way you casually said, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You never know. These guys come out of nowhere. Guards, not so much, but like everyone.
I'll pay you $1,000 if Jaden Springer makes an all-star team.
All right, I'll take that deal. Nothing on my end that I have to put up.
I like Jaden Springer, man. He played well tonight. Unfortunately for him, it is just there's a lot of non-on-the-court factors that will maybe go into this trade deadline. Doesn't have an extension in place. Will he have a market this summer? If there are teams that want to maybe play him, are the Celtics going to be that team? Like, what does that look like? And Is there anything else they feel like they need at the deadline that they could get with Springer and picks? Because he's literally like one of their only tradable salaries without dipping into the actual rotation pieces. Do they want to just not spend $20 million to keep him on the books? Because with taxes, that's what he costs. So
Worth it.
like, there's a lot of factors, but if he sticks around and even in the very, very short term for the next 8 days till the trade deadline, like he should play. He's playing well enough where he should play. He makes a positive impact on the floor, and I don't think that's deniable anymore. So I'm in for Springer minutes. He's a good player.
Yeah. I just think you're at a point with this team now. Like you need all the positive impact you can get too. Like if you're finding something that's like an extra weapon, an extra card to play, yeah, do it. And I would, if I had $20 million, I would pay. If I had it, I would personally pay it to make sure it could happen. But I don't.
Luke Cornett played a little bit in this game. He was fine. Drew Peterson got a little bit of random time in this game. He was fine. Walsh and Cato were fine. Not much else. Outside of that, one thing I did want to say, the Celtics won this game by 22 points. They still played the we're going to let guys shoot offense. Josh Giddey got some open threes.
They won today.
Williams got some open threes. Lonzo got some open threes. It just worked. It worked in this one because the Bulls are horrendous. There was a point in this first quarter where the Celtics, I forget who it was that got the open three. I'm going to try to look while I'm talking. Doubled Nikola Vucevic in the post and gave up an open three. I don't care.
Early in the first quarter might have been Lonzo because he made back-to-back early.
I don't care that the person missed the shot. Stop. There is no need. It doesn't make sense. I don't get it. Like, Nikola Vucevic is a good basketball player. He's having a good season. Alperen Sengun's a good player. He's having a good season. These guys are not offensive threats to the point where you need to double and give up wide open 3-point shots. I don't care if Drew Holiday's guarding Vucevic for that post look. I don't care if Jaylen Brown's guarding him. I don't care if Derrick White's guarding him. Maybe that's the line. But what the hell? It doesn't make sense to me. Like you have such a good defensive lineup that it's so unnecessary. Like just stop bending for defense. They're playing Budenholzer ball. The thing that we make fun of him for, that he can't win in the playoffs, they're doing that. I don't get it. Like, the math's not that important. Like, the math is great, but there comes a point where you got to stop. They guarded they doubled a Patrick Williams drive and gave up an open three. Look at this. Look at this shit that I'm watching. They got Josh Giddey at the top of the key. Patrick Williams drives in on Jaden Springer. Peyton Pritchard goes to help for no reason. You have two guys on Vucevic in the post and two guys on Patrick Williams in the post 2 feet in front of him.
Yep.
I don't care that Josh Giddey's the shooter. He missed. Great. The math won there. Stop.
If you go back to where the drive is, like, you don't have to pull it up again. You already got rid of the thing. But if you were to go back and look, if you're watching the video, you can go back and do it. There's literally 2 sets of open people. There, like Jack said, double team on Vucevic, double team on the ball. So there's like Tatum guarding 3 guys on the perimeter.
Patrick Williams.
Yeah, Patrick Williams, offensive superstar Patrick Williams. And like unironically, like Springer's fucking guarding him. It's not like he's not gonna do a good job contesting the shot. Like he blocked a shot on a very similar play in this game. He can defend. If there's one thing about that guy, he can defend. The calculator gets the fucking game.
Patrick Williams,
dude. I don't know what to tell you. They love this.
Patrick Williams is shooting 33% in the paint this year. Non-restricted area. He's shooting 47.5% in the restricted area and 33% in the restricted area. 32% from mid-range. Hello? Excuse me?
Is this win actually bad? Is this the equivalent?
You want to talk about
Tatum
math?
You want to talk about math?
What about that math? Where's the math on that? Why is the math Josh Giddey's a bad 3-point shooter, so we'll guard this? Josh Giddey's shooting better from 3 than Patrick Williams is in the paint. I don't know if that's true. I made that up. But like it's not that far off. Let me see. Let's try something else. Let me test something just in case maybe that's not the math they're looking at. Maybe I'm the stupid one. Very possible. I don't work for a basketball team. I don't work for an NBA team. Patrick Williams, let's see. How often does he pass out of drives? 39.5% of the times. He averages 0.4 assists per drive. Good job. Great math. I don't get it, man. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, the math won tonight. That's great. The other thing is though, like to a degree, I get the math on a team like this. I don't think Josh Giddey or Patrick Williams or these guys have the mentality to be like, oh, you're going to not leave me open. I'm going to hit all these shots in your face. Like they will crumble under that pressure. We saw that. Like they're not this like, they're not Dylan Brooks. You want to talk about a guy to maybe not challenge to hit open shots? Dylan Brooks, probably the poster child of the don't challenge, don't test me guy. You know another guy?
Caleb Martin.
Caleb Martin. Probably don't.
Yeah.
Maybe don't test that guy. Maybe you don't test some of these guys when you're doing this. I get it. I get a little bit with the Bulls, but I'm still out on it. And they did it in this one, and they're probably going to do it for a while. And it won them the finals. This is literally how they beat Luka. But you know who's not Luka? Patrick Williams. I don't know, man. Anyways, also the numbers, the stats tell you the Celtics are the best transition defense team in the NBA this year. The eye test makes them want to vomit. Just putting that out there too. It's just watching Tatum play transition defense makes me want. Let me not. I don't like it very much. It's horrible. It's the worst. I need to pull out a play. And Tatum did a good job of reading the game. I don't want this to turn into, oh my God, Tatum sucks, but I need to find something. 1 second. Tatum foul. I need to find a Tatum foul in the box score while my microphone is down. Excuse me.
It fell.
Tatum. Let's see. No, my mic didn't fall. I just was typing, and I need 2 hands, and I have to hold this mic. Okay, yeah. Here you go. So, Bulls get a little bit of a transition opportunity. The Celtics are actually pretty behind the ball here. I think this was off a Tatum miss. I'm not sure. I didn't look, but somebody missed. Bulls get the ball, start running in transition. This is what Tatum does. Take him out of the game. Take him out of the game right there. Did you watch the play, or were you looking elsewhere?
I mean, they'll never take him out of the game.
I know. But look at this. Look at this. Tatum has all the time in the world to get back, and he just pushes Josh Giddey in the back. Tech him up. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Why? Why is this the transition defense plan? It frustrates me because he could be a great transition defender. He's athletic. He's a good defender in general. He can time up some blocks pretty well, probably. But he just doesn't. He just, anyways, that's all I got. That's the last thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, there's not much left to say.
All right. Good win, regardless of ending like that with complaining. KP was great. We'll throw it to the rest of the show.
All right, we're back. It's only been a little bit since the last time we recorded, but we will still look at the standings because the Cavs are still in first, and the Celtics, instead of gaining ground, lost ground. Cavaliers 37-9, Celtics 32-15. Celtics only a game up on the Knicks now. Then you got the Bucks, Pacers, Heat, Magic, Pistons, Hawks, Bulls in the play-in. Then Sixers, Raptors, Nets, Hornets, Wizards. Sam, how the mighty have fallen. Pistons back down to 500 and not in the top 6 anymore.
Yeah, they sold the Celtics on Monday. No getting around it. Social media team for the Pistons didn't even tweet like a final score graphic. They were just like, we didn't win. Respectable move because they do have to tell the people whether or not they won, but it was a tough loss, not a very close game. They fell apart in the second half. And the Celtics, the Celtics don't really do themselves a whole lot of favors anymore either. They're now 5-5 in their last 10. They've been a very difficult watch. They continue to leave you scratching your head, and it's not a lot of fun. Meanwhile, these other teams that are in the East are playing well, like the Knicks, four wins in a row, 7-3 in their last 10. They're only a game back of the Celtics now. Like, you're playing with fire. You want to keep screwing around. Good luck. The middle of the East continues to be an absolute bar fight, though. The Magic have been atrocious. My God, 2-8 in their last 10. They were,
Yeah.
4th not that long ago? Probably 10 games ago?
Yeah.
Why do these teams all have a hard time integrating guys back in the lineup? It's really weird. Like the Porzingis has been a big talking point for us and many other people in the media space with the Celtics because since he came back, like the team hasn't been very good. But especially now, like he's playing pretty good. Like he's looked great. He looked great against the Rockets. They're just having a hard time adjusting. And Orlando having the same problem with Paolo. Really weird.
And Franz.
And
Franz back.
Franz. They should actually
Listen,
just trade him.
it's tough because you get a couple guys out or a guy out or whatever, and you get the rest of the team knowing they have to step up and playing a little bit extra hard maybe and having a little bit more juice and also getting used to certain amount of touches, used to having the ball, used to being in certain spots. And then even when that player is the best player in your team, you get that guy back, and the same guys who are juiced up and ready to play and excited for opportunities aren't getting those touches. And Cole Anthony is not going to get to be this top scoring option. So maybe he's not as confident. So he's coming in late and he's not playing as well. Or you get the Celtics even, who, yes, they were used to playing with Kristaps a little bit last year, but played the entire playoffs basically without him, and then played the whole start of the season without him. You got Jaylen Brown used to playing certain minutes, and Tatum, and all these guys used to certain touches and being in certain spots. And you have to like change the way you play offense to integrate Porzingis and his touches, get him in the post a little bit more, get him here, get him there. And it's just like a change, even as minor as that, and even as positive in the long run as that is enough to, I think, disrupt a positive thing you've got going on.
Oh, also, Jack, didn't Orlando start the year like 10, 11 and 0 at home?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure they got off to a great start at home. They're 15 and 9 there now. I was looking at all the other teams' home records in the East just because the Celtics have been so poor there. And I was like, how does that really stack up against these other teams? I'm pretty sure Orlando had a great start to the year at home. It might not have hit double digits, but they won quite a few games there early on.
Celtics home record is actually pretty comparable to the rest of the East.
That's what I was saying. I was actually like kind of surprised. I was like, oh, well, I guess it's not that bad.
We just got spoiled with how incredible they were last year.
What did you say? They were 60-6 before this year?
Something like that. It was like 56-6 in the last, or 56 and 54-6 in the last 60, and now they're 5-7 in the last 12 or something like that. So we got spoiled by
Wizards
how
lost
they were
again?
last year.
Pistons
Wizards
watch
lost again,
continues.
yes.
Yes. Don't be that
Mhm.
team. Also,
Yeah.
Philly quietly like sticking their head around the corner to see what's going on with the play-in. Only a game and a half back of Chicago. And if Chicago decides to offload guys at the deadline, Philly could very well find their way in.
Magic started 10-0 at home, yes.
10-0 at home. So they are now 5-9 in their last 14 there. Yikes.
Yeah. Listen, man, I said this last year, and I said this last game. Like, I don't think it matters as, like, it obviously impacts it a little bit, but I think it's just games are games, teams are teams, and you got to win regardless of where you are. And so I don't think home and away matters as much as people make it out. Like
people like me.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it is that big of a deal. Like,
it really
for
feels
most
like it has
teams,
changed since COVID. Since they did the bubble, it doesn't feel as important.
I bet we could go all the way back and we'll see like let me see. Let's see. I don't know. Look what was right before COVID. 2018, 19.
Yeah.
Teams are like generally a little bit better at home, but like what we saw last year with the Celtics is the exception and not the rule. Like, just teams are good at home.
I'll tell you what is that 18-19 Celtics team was a joy to watch. One of the great teams.
For sure. Definitely. Western Conference. OKC still up top at 37-8. Rockets now second place, have a game up on the Grizzlies in the Western Conference. Nuggets, Lakers, Clippers rounding out the top six. Wolves, Suns, Mavs, Kings. Then you got the Warriors, Spurs, Blazers, Pelicans, Jazz. Outside looking in, all of whom I should say are on a losing streak right now, at least one game losing streak. Kings are 7-3 in their last 10 still. Suns are turning it around. They've won 3 in a row, 8-2 in their last 10. Western Conference continues to be a dogfight.
Did you see the Bradley Beal thing?
Which one?
So apparently at one of their latest home games, there was a Suns fan that was like, fuck this guy, trade him for Jimmy. And Beal's wife was in earshot.
His children.
The kids.
Yeah.
And she just wrote this long statement. And it's crazy that they she's right there. Like, people are asking her if she's okay. And mind you, like, Phoenix is actually playing well right now. Like,
I know.
it's not like they've been getting fucking killed. Like, it's not that it's like, I don't think you should be like saying that like to the family, but like, it's okay to have those opinions when your team is like dog shit. Listen, weird in this situation to be
don't yell at players and say you're a bitch, fuck you, bum. Like, I don't fuck with that. Like, you can say like whatever, like general stuff, but don't like start attack. Like, It just shows you don't know who's listening. You know who's family there. You know who's children there. You have a
Right.
kid like looking up to his mom, like, why are they saying that about my dad? And like crying, like,
I thought Dad was cool. What the hell?
dude, why? I think it's so fucking cringe. Like, just watch the game, shut the fuck up, and go home. It's not that hard. It's so. I think it's the most brain dead part of sports is the people who like to just shit on other like humans just because they're wearing a jersey and they don't like the jersey or they don't like the player. Like shut the fuck up. If that guy and his wife, Beal's wife, made a good point. The dudes who are saying that are the same people who'd be on their knees begging for autographs outside. Fuck you.
Correct.
It's the same people.
Correct.
Fucking losers, man.
The adult autograph people are a little weird. That's
I
neither.
think it's lame. I just think it's lame. I don't like. It's the same. Like we were talking about it at dinner the other day. I think Philly fans are some of the worst because it has just been normalized. It's like it's gross. It's like there's a picture of like them harassing some Commanders fans after the game. The Commanders fans are just literally looking straight ahead, like whatever, like trying to ignore them, and they just steal the guy's hat. Like they just take his shit off him. Wait, what are we doing? It's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's like people aren't
It's
like
funny. It's funny
so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. It doesn't mean it's okay, but the Philly fans have just made an identity for themselves of being like over the top
Garbage.
scumbags to where
Awful
they're
people.
like I wouldn't say grandfathered in, but they get like a special standard because of who they have become, and it always is interesting. But the Western Conference. What a conference this is.
So you see somebody in the Philly crowd after the conference championship win had a gun, just shot it in the air in the middle of the crowd.
I did see that.
What are we doing? It's so gross. It's ridiculous, man. You know the guy who like called the woman at the game a bunch of like names that I don't want to repeat on the show a while ago. An ugly, dumb C word is
where
the
was
phrase
this?
he used at the Eagles game. He was talking to
This
Packers
weekend?
fans. No, Packers game.
Oh, yes, I do remember hearing about that.
He got fired from his job and banned from the stadium for life. Fuck you, buddy. See you later.
Fired
Bomb.
from his job.
Yeah.
Tough.
Maybe don't be a fucking loser. Maybe don't be a piece of shit. It's really it is like the easiest thing ever just to not be a bad person. Just don't be, and if you are, just don't say it out loud. Like it's just the easiest thing ever.
Yeah, I get
people
by.
Fail. Oh man. Ridiculous. Anyways. Before we jump to the next thing, I need to tell you guys about Gametime. It's the best place to buy your tickets. The best place to scour for deals for any event that you might want to go to. We looked at Gracie Abrams last time for tickets. I don't think you know who it is. You definitely don't know who it is. So this time, Sam, what would you like to look at? What event would
Let's
you
look
like
at Tyler,
to look at?
the creator.
Okay.
A lot of buzz
Tyler,
about I guess he's doing 3 shows at the Garden in July.
He's going to the Garden. A little bit cheaper than Gracie Abrams. You can get 304, 178, 182. These all stars right here tell you the best deal. A super deal, as Gametime so aptly puts on their site. You can see your view from the seat. And like I always say, the best part is it shows you the view for that type of event. So it shows you the view you'll have at a concert that is set up like Tyler, the Creator's concert will be set up. You can also look around, excuse me, to the balcony for the cheapest option, which tells you exactly that, the cheapest option. You can check out other things too. You can see these views. Gives you all in ticket pricing as well, so you know you're paying exactly what you see rather than getting surprised with last minute fees at checkout. Gametime picks curation makes it easier. All in pricing, seat views, like I just said, on-time ticket delivery as well. Lowest price guaranteed, event cancellation protection, job loss protection. They have everything you need when you want to buy tickets to any sort of event, sports, concert, comedy show, anything like that. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right.
I'll tell you what is nice. I feel like now that we regularly sit on the 9th floor, I can sit anywhere. Like you're hardened to being like the highest up you could possibly be. And I'm telling you, like, I like our view from up there. I'm not saying it is a bad view, but anywhere else in the arena would be like, oh wow, like I'm a little closer.
That might have been the most first world privilege bullshit I've ever heard you say on the show. I sit on the 9th floor. I can sit anywhere now. It's pretty good.
I can sit anywhere.
You're the worst. You're the fucking worst. Let's go back to the latest Jimmy Butler report. Do I have a sound in here yet for when we talk about Jimmy Butler?
We
Let's
have a
see.
he's back.
No, I don't think I have anything
The
fun.
he's
It would be
back
in
was
the-
excellent, by the way.
It would be in the Celtics section. What is moving? I don't know. I don't think we have anything. Regardless,
Moving on is the Phillips song about
yes,
when they
yes.
lose.
No Jimmy Butler sounds, but Jimmy Butler. The Heat have reportedly lowered their asking price. Brian Windhorst said on ESPN they are, quote, really, really trying to get a trade done. Heat are really, really trying to make this happen. I know you could have said that anytime in the last 4 or 5 weeks, but in talking to people who are involved in trade talks, I think the Heat's prices have come down. They're willing to accept what they're willing to accept in a trade has widened. Also, Jimmy Butler was informed at shoot around that Haywood Highsmith would be starting in his place, and he walked out, and he has now been suspended indefinitely. So both sides handling things well, obviously. What a day. What a world we live in.
I know we've talked about Jimmy probably is on pace to be one of like the great Miami Heat players ever.
I think you
Number
froze for
going
a
to get
second. It wasn't me.
retired. Has been a tremendous like player for them. Has had great success during his tenure, and now that is all lit on fire. Bridge burned. Both sides fucking hate each other. Kevin Love is involved.
He's funny.
It's very public. Like everybody's going through it. Everybody knows exactly what's happening. They're suspending him multiple times. He doesn't want to play there anymore. Everybody sucks in the situation. And it's gotten so bad that they've had to lower the asking price. They've had to be like, we just get him out of here. Get him out of here. We don't want him anymore. And now more teams are starting to get involved. Golden State back in. Kevin O'Connor put it out today, just kind of poking their head in, being like, "Oh, can we get Jimmy? Like we're on the outside looking in the playing in the West. Like, what if we got Jimmy in our team?"
Warriors. I like the Warriors for him. I think it makes sense.
I think it would be pretty fun to have him not in the Eastern Conference. I find the Memphis part of this very strange, like where he's just like, "I don't want to play for the Grizzlies." Maybe you don't want to live there, but like
maybe they
Memphis
won't pay
seems like
him.
maybe they won't pay him, but it
They
just seems
have-
like it would be a perfect like type fit.
It's true. It wouldn't surprise me if they wouldn't pay him though, because they have a pretty stacked book as it is, anyways. So
Get
maybe
Jimmy
that's
in there, have
part of
him doing the whip that trick. He'd love that.
I think it'd be a good fit. I still like the Rockets. I don't hate the Spurs. I think the Warriors are probably the best just because of their timeline and Curry's age and how it might fit well together that way. I don't know, man. I still think he ends up in Phoenix. I still think he ends up a Sun. I don't know what it's going to look
will not
like.
go
but
play for the Bulls. We found that out the other day. He said, "No,
Very
absolutely not.
true.
I don't want to play for the Bulls."
Did you see the report on why Beal said he won't play for the Bulls?
No, I didn't see why. I did see that he said
So, Bradley Beal reporting. Fred Katz, the Athletic, says Phoenix Suns guard Bradley Beal will not waive his no trade clause to go to the Chicago Bulls. A source familiar with the three-time All-Star's thinking told the Athletic. There are destinations Beal would consider approving. As the Athletic reported last week, going to a winning team would be first priority. However, cold weather cities, including Chicago, are less attractive to him, the source said. If a team has a losing record in a chilly winter, it won't be on Beal's list. Of course, this complicates the Suns' pursuit of Butler. So, doesn't like the cold, Bradley Beal, which, listen, man.
He's not going to come play for the Celtics? What the fuck?
Listen. You can criticize the Wizards and the Suns for the no trade clause and trading for the no trade clause. If I got a no trade clause, I want to go nowhere I don't want to go. If I don't like the school system in the city, I'm not going. If I don't like the name of the street I can find a house on, I'm not going. I don't give a fuck. If I'm Bradley Beal, I'm doing exactly this. A little chilly there, I'm all set. A little too hot, I'm all set. You know, too mild even, don't care, don't want it. AC broke in the house, don't really want. I don't care. I'm doing anything and whatever the fuck I want because I can, and I'm in.
You're fucking
like
Goldilocks in this situation.
I like it.
I don't blame him either. If you had the option to be like, I don't want to play anywhere, sure. That's kind of the dream in the NBA. He's protected from getting sent somewhere he doesn't want to play, having to move his family somewhere that they don't want to live. Like, I understand it. I just think the team's like, I mean, credit to the Wizards. The Wizards got out of there quick. And they adjacently got Jordan Poole in this, who like
Been pretty good.
he's been decent this season. Like he's kind of taken a step in the right direction after last year being a shit show, and he still has his moments where you scratch your head and be like, "This guy won't stop fucking around, will he?" But like now, Phoenix has their hands tied, and maybe they don't end up trading him because they're winning now. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Like if they keep it up, I could see them just being like, "Whatever, we'll get rid. I mean, we'll keep him around. We'll stick with him." His statistics have been fine this year. Like you've read him in the past, like pretty efficient shooting and stuff. Probably isn't the best fit there with the personnel that they have. But there's no point in like bending over backwards at this point. Like Miami is the team in this that is more desperate than Phoenix.
I agree. But I also don't agree at the same time, actually, because like at least if you're Miami, the worst thing that happens is you lose Butler for nothing, and you still have Hero and Bam and Khalil Ware and Jaime Jaquez. If you don't get Butler and you don't change something with Beal and Nurkic, Phoenix is cooked. Phoenix is absolutely screwed. And I'm not saying what they are looking for with Jimmy thing is something I agree with. Like, I'm not saying that this is the solution to all their problems. They got to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Heat technically don't have to do anything, and they'll be okay for the next 5-10 years. Suns are fucked.
I think the big thing with the Suns that I agree with your point on is that like you're only going to have Durant playing at a high level for so long before he either retires or regresses. Having Beal there probably doesn't maximize the team that you can put around him and Booker, considering that Beal makes so much money and the rest of their team is a skeleton crew because they have no money to pay anybody to come play for them. Doesn't help that Nurkic makes $20 million either, which they are trying to move him as well. But like if they don't do anything with Beal but can move Nurkic, that still might help them. Like there are avenues to do it without like giving up Beal for nothing.
I don't know if
finding
they
somebody
can.
to take that is
I don't know if
just
they can
off.
move Nurkic. I don't think they can
Nobody's.
move Nurkic.
Yeah, I don't think
Did
anybody's.
you hear the
jumping
latest
at
report?
No, what was it?
He and Budenholzer didn't talk for 2 straight months.
That's hilarious.
So-
There is something like extra funny about like Yusuf Nurkic being the diva.
On January 11th, he said, "We don't have a relationship, so it's fine for me to just be a pro and do the best I can." And then blah, 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 a bunch of other stuff. So
They gotta quit. Like what did Budenholzer do to him? Isn't
benched
Budenholzer
him.
was Budenholzer there
Benched
last
him.
year? It was
No.
Vogel, right?
Vogel, yeah. He just benched him.
So he and Nurkic just never got along from the absolute get-go of this relationship, like a couple months ago.
Well, no, I mean, they were fine, right, when he was starting, but as soon as he benched him and took him out of the rotation, I can imagine Nurkic probably wasn't too pleased.
I just feel like Nurkic has been a problem for a while beyond this year.
Been bad. I mean, stylistically, yes. Like, I don't think he's the best. I think he's not a great defender, but Vogel didn't do shit about it, and so he was fine. And now Budenholzer did, and so he's like, "Oh, what the fuck, man?"
Good luck to Phoenix. Don't know where Bradley Beal's ended up getting traded that can actually take him. Doesn't feel like there's a lot of options. Didn't he say he doesn't want to go to
really
Miami
don't know.
too?
No, he said he would go to Miami. Miami said we don't want him.
Good for Miami.
Like, I'm looking around the league and like trying to think of teams that like. I mean, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Which is Minnesota want in? Actually, they can't. They can't financially. They financially cannot get a trade for Bradley Beal.
It's also too cold.
Would the Nets do it for draft capital?
Too cold.
It's too cold. You're right. It's too cold. Hold up. Is Atlanta too cold?
No,
I don't know why Atlanta would do it. Atlanta wouldn't do it though. Why would they mess up what they got going on?
Atlanta's like kind of like in a spot where like they have a fun team.
All
and they have
signs.
exciting young guys that you don't want to take minutes away from.
All signs point to the Pistons.
Too cold.
But it's too cold. But it's a winning. At least they're winning. So it's one of the two. It means
They're
one of his
winning
two
half the
requirements.
time.
It's one of his two requirements. They're a
He
positive
said he
team.
didn't want to play for the Pistons.
When did he say that?
He said that like a week or two ago. He said he doesn't want to play for Detroit or Charlotte.
Let me see. He said he doesn't want to play for Detroit or who?
Charlotte.
Beal, Detroit, Charlotte. I didn't see that. Excuse me. Okay. Will not be okay. Yeah, okay. I
Yep.
see.
So, is it New Orleans? They did get a snowstorm down there, so maybe
they're
that's
losing organization though. We got to find a little bit of both. We got to find a mix.
The Spurs are one that maybe.
Why would they mess up their books? If I'm the Spurs, I'm not touching it. I'm not messing up my books. The Kings, are they desperate enough?
The Beal hostage thing is just incredible. Because he's just not at a value level where anybody is gonna want to go out of their way to trade for him. It's not his fault. It's just the situation is at a deadlock. There is no moving away from this.
It's cooked. Let me see. Could the Kings make it work even feasibly? I think they'd have to give up
Sacramento
DeRozan.
probably gets pretty cool to cold.
It's warm enough though. It's not Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely not the Midwest.
California, it's fine.
I mean, it doesn't get cold over there.
No, but everywhere Phoenix gets cold. You know, so it's maybe the Clippers. Maybe for some random fucking reason, the Clippers are like, you know what? Get us another offensive guy. We'll take the money. We'll recoup some draft capital, which we have none of. But then they'd have to match
for
it.
that reason they would do it because it kind of plays into Ballmer's idea of just built a new arena, want to fill seats, want to have a competitive team, want to have big names. You get Beal in there and you get draft picks back. It is a benefit. If you can get draft picks back, it's a benefit.
The problem with that is you would have to trade one of Kawhi, Norman Powell, Zubac, and I'm just saying no right away. I won't do that. I won't get rid of one of those guys. They would love Zubac. Nick Richards has been really good for them. Have you seen him?
Yeah, he's been put up big numbers.
Yeah. Since getting to Phoenix in 5 games, he's averaging 12 and 11 on 62.
Also, not for nothing.
2019 game, too.
Jack, who the fuck plays center for the Hornets?
Mark Williams.
Oh, he's back. He was hurt.
Yes.
Okay. Because I saw that. I mean, you saw it too. We were at the game together yesterday. But AD had the 21 and 11 first quarter. And I was just like, the Hornets don't have a center, dude. Of course.
Mark Williams. They
have one guy that plays center for them.
They got Taj Gibson.
Poor Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson.
I will say Mark Williams
last year and was like, dude, I can't believe how tired I was.
Mark Williams averaging almost 16 and 10 though, so he's good.
He's a quality player. He doesn't suck. I knew when the Celtics went down there.
Oh,
they
Moussa
were without
Diabate.
Mark Williams.
Moussa Diabate plays a lot of minutes for them. He's their two-way guy, but he's actually been playing pretty well this season. He's averaging 4 and 7 rebounds. He's been pretty good.
Gotcha.
Anyways, last thing before the rat list is the Heat. Back to them. They're actually interested in Julius Randle. So this is from Ian Begley of, I believe, SNY.
Yes.
Is his outlet. He says, keep an eye on Minnesota in a Butler deal. In the offseason, the Heat were one of the teams that expressed interest in trading for Julius Randle. Per SNY sources, Randle has remained on the Heat's radar during the Butler saga. Sources say, I don't know if there are any active trade talks between Miami and Minnesota, but the two teams have been in touch on Butler trades.
Randle this year, 18, 7, and 4.5 on 46.6 and 32.9% from the field. Basketball Reference, the slowest site of all time, not letting me scroll to see the rest of his extended stat line as I try and look for it. Go ahead. You got it. I hate that they have all these videos that autoplay. I know the premium version makes it so it doesn't do that.
What stat are you looking for?
3 turnovers a game.
Yes.
That's it. The fumbling around, I was very curious about. Just listen, if you're trying to get rid of Jimmy, sure. But and you're looking to take salary back, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just it's just one of those contracts that's taking up enough money to where it's not worth it.
I have a spoiler alert.
What?
The Wolves, second apron team. They
So
cannot.
they can't even do it.
They
Yeah.
literally cannot trade for Jimmy Butler. There is not a single player on their roster who makes more than Jimmy Butler, which means there is quite literally no possible way for them to trade for Jimmy Butler this season. It is not possible. I would have to let me see. Let me look at teams' contracts. Timberwolves contract books spot track. They would have to trade a contract, get under the second apron, and then do it. Their current books is come on, man. Where the fuck is this? Team cap. What is second apron mark? Mark NBA. I'm doing a lot of finagling here.
Who would be the funniest team to trade for Julius Randle?
The Knicks.
Yeah, but like one that like might like the Pacers. Like the Pacers came into my mind because you mentioned like them as a Cam Johnson potential fit. And I was just like, man, like you put Julius Randle on that team. Good luck.
Get him on Philly. Get him with next Embiid. Get him out there fumbling around together.
They could both like fall all over the place.
Yeah.
Make
The
Philly even
Timberwolves
more like-
are so the second apron is 188.93. The Timberwolves are at 198.78. So they'd have to get rid of roughly $11 million before they can get under that second apron mark. Which means they would have to trade. I'm just gonna pull the Pistons and do a potential trade just to make the math work.
Also, Jack, I did
hmm.
see like a speculation rumor that Philly would give up Paul George for Jimmy.
I don't, maybe.
So in this case, it would actually be me over Tobias Harris 2.0.
Yeah. They would have to offload DiVincenzo's contract first before they did it. Which, if you're the Pistons, maybe you take a chance on that DiVincenzo. 11.4.
He couldn't come here. You don't think that would be like a decent like take a swing at guy?
DiVincenzo doesn't make $3 million.
That's why I asked you the question.
Yeah, so they would have to offload that. If I'm the Pistons, I'd be like, yeah, I'll give you a second or third for whatever, or third, a second or maybe even a protected first for
DiVincenzo makes sense.
I don't hate that.
Pistons.
I don't hate that. And then after you get to that point, then you could do like Julius Randle. Shit, man, you'd still have to trade Naz Reid or Jaden McDaniels. You can't do it. You can't get Jimmy. If you're the Timberwolves, you can't get Jimmy. It doesn't make sense. It just it doesn't. Unless the Heat.
What a foolish trade that was.
Yeah.
Because like they're still over the second apron. Like if you're going to be over the second apron, you might as well just run it back with the team that went to the conference finals.
I know, but now you got movable contracts, and you won't be under the second apron. You won't be over the second apron for as long in theory, which is good because then your draft picks won't get frozen or moved back because you have to be over it X amount of years through 4 or something like that. So like,
also not for nothing with the draft picks. It isn't this for every team, but I saw you tweet about Bobby Marks the other day, like his tweet breaking it all down.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the Celtics, like you're hoping you're at the bottom of the first round anyway.
Yeah, but it's still like a dangerous.
If shit happens, you want to have the safety net, I suppose.
Yeah, it's still a dangerous thing, and you also can't trade certain things X amount of years out, so your flexibility is restricted. I don't know about Julius Randle though. Anyways, regardless, Ratless, Sam, what do you got?
I'll do it. You can chime in on this too. Ratless, the elevator yesterday. Elevator down to the pressers. Brutal. Did not come for probably like 15 to 20 minutes. Took that long to get up to the top floor. Jack took the stairs. I'm nursing a muscle leg injury thing that I could take the stairs. I could probably not go quickly down the stairs like everyone else, so I would have been left behind. So I just decided to wait for the elevator. Jack got to the Missoula presser with like 2 questions left. I missed it. Got down there for Jaylen and Jason. But there were probably 20 people waiting to get on this elevator by the time it actually showed up. Like there was a crowd of people eagerly awaiting it. I don't know how this is a problem consistently.
It's because I think sometimes when it got up there, was it empty?
Yes. There was one guy.
I think the button doesn't work, first of all. So the guy probably had to go up to 9. So I think we have to wait until someone calls it to 9, which is a problem. Or the person in there knows they have to go to 9, which is rare. But sometimes the people like the Celtics on court entertainment people load all their shit in it before it gets up. So we have to wait for them.
Terp was bitching. He was like, you know what they got in there right now? They get the
The
big
burger.
fucking cheeseburgers in there.
Fucking burger, man.
I almost wonder. I mean, if the button doesn't work, it won't do anything. But like, if we should get up with like 3 minutes left and hit the thing.
Maybe, but then you run the risk of missing the end of the game if it comes, and then it's just gonna go without you, and then you really fucked it because then it's gonna be gone.
Yeah,
It's just tough. We
we got to start using the elevator where, like the secret elevator, the one that we'll take sometimes with Terp's buddy.
Yeah, but after the game, if the fans are in there, so it's like packed.
Maybe we'll get recognized. It'll be good for our egos.
I'm gonna. I don't know if I think anti-rat list. So I took the I mooch off Cam after games because he lives close enough to me where I just Uber to his house and then walk home. So
Oh, you guys split the cost. Yeah, not bad.
No, I don't even pay. I tell him like, hey, I'll take the tea, but he's like, I mean, if you just want to come along, it's not going to cost me any extra. So I'm like, I just feel like, sure, fucking like, I guess, because I mean, I'm going to his house. It's not like it's a 2-minute walk. It's like a 30-minute walk for me. So like, I hoof it. Like I'm out there. But the anti-rat list is got there last night. Obviously, don't like being there too late. However, it's after midnight. Got a free 2,500 steps for today. So I'm a fourth of the way done here, and I haven't done shit today, and it feels pretty good because I was just walking, listening to my songs, hanging out last night. It was nice.
Buddy, I got bad news for you. The count resets when you wake up.
No,
That's when your body recovers.
not
It's
according to
your rule.
my
You can
app.
do what you want with it. I'm just trolling.
I want the 10,000 green every single day, and you bet your ass that's what it counts for. Don't care.
How are you feeling? Like any different?
I don't know if I'm feeling any different. I've lost a little weight.
There you go.
I can see. So I started this at the start of December, but I didn't start tracking my weight until the start of this month. I don't care. I'll just say it on here. It doesn't matter to me. So I don't test it, or I don't test it. I don't weigh myself at the same type of day. So it's super like up and down. Cause like if I had just eaten, but on the first I weighed 259, and today, this morning before I ate, I weighed 251. So I don't think that's true. I think it's because I maybe had eaten or hadn't eaten or something, blah, blah, blah. But I think I've lost at least
That's still a size.
this month. I've lost at least like 5-ish pounds, I would say.
Yes, that's good.
Really
now,
good. I mean,
there's a layer to this that once you started to be productive, the Celtics have started to suck.
I gotta get fat again.
We both have to just get fat as shit.
I don't know what. I wish I weighed myself when I started walking, because there was one point where I was like 265, 270. So I'm probably down like over 10 pounds at this point since I started.
That's pretty good though.
Not bad.
People don't know, man. If you just like go for walks, you'll still be good. Like you don't have to like kill yourself exercising and stuff.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's just like make the conscious effort to kind of like be consistent. You'll be good.
Get all the greens.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Marfield.
Hell yes. It's like Marfield. Little inside baseball for everybody. That's the page views tracking site that we used to use together. When you see that shit going berserk, it is a crack hit if there was ever one.
I've done 10,000 steps for 57 days in a row so far.
There you go. Man, it's
pretty
cooking.
good.
I can't say the same.
And before that, it was bad. It was so bad. Let me see. My average. So here, we'll do like a 2-month check-in here for the rat list. So before I was doing, excuse me, sorry. So it would be November. In November, I did 4,100 steps a day. Not very good. The worst. So scrolling back, I wanted to see like what the worst one I've ever recorded was on my health app. In excuse me, something February of 2021. I don't think that's the worst. Oh yeah, January 2022, 690 steps a day.
Yes.
I had my phone had to have not been in my pocket. Like there's no way. Like that is unbelievable. That's unfathomably bad. And now we're up.
That's
month.
fire.
Let me see. Wait, what else can I track on this shit? I think I can track like calories burned per day too, because I think I was at like 50 calories burnt a day or something. Like, no, it was like at like 150, 200, and now it's like 600, 650. It's just the streak helps.
Ratless was the shower at the hotel I was at this weekend. Kind of forgot about this when we did the Monday pod, so you guys all get a little extra Ratless. The shower at this hotel must have taken anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to actually heat up. Like when I went to take a shower the first time, I stood there for probably that amount of time, putting my hand in and out of the water, feeling if it was heating up. And there was a point where it felt like half the stream was warm and half the stream was ice cold. And then once it heats up, it was like devil's piss hot, and it takes a little while to cool off. So there was just no winning with this. Like you have to experiment with the lever, like where you want it to be. But there's a point where you don't even know if it's working, so you have to turn it to the extreme level. And then by the time it adjusts, you're fucking cooked. It takes too much time. It was an awful experience. Terrible shower. And the bottle of conditioner wouldn't put conditioner out, no matter how many times you hit it. And it wasn't empty because we got it refilled.
It's broken. Pain in the ass.
Piss poor.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think I have much else to do. I took a picture of my roommate. So they at the Auerbach Center yesterday.
Yes.
The Celtics are doing like a promotion with C4 Energy, or like partnering with them. And I brought one home for my roommate, and he was like, "No way!" And he brought out another can, and he had it. And I tweeted it, and like it got some likes, or whatever. And so in my group chat with my roommates and my friends, tweet with Mike's doing numbers. And then someone responded, let me find it. It was funny, so I want to get it verbatim. It said it's doing numbers. And someone said, my roommate Brian said, we desperately need that Noah retweet. I want Mike to be sponsored so bad. And then I texted Noah that screenshot, and she retweeted it. And Danny goes, she's taking you to the moon. Mike said he's already in ratio territory. Which I thought was funny, but I don't have anything else. You got anything else?
Ratless Mello. Mello does his 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast. And of course, I'm on YouTube the other day, scrolling my recommendeds, and it pops up, like the most recent episode pops up because when Blake Griffin was on there, I gave it a listen. Big fan of Blake Griffin's. Blake Griffin's always an awesome listen. Anytime he's on any podcast, he's great on the microphone. A rare example of just because you dribbled a basketball and played basketball that you are good behind the microphone, by the way. There are examples, but not everyone should be behind the microphone. Anyways, so the most recent one pops up, and the title is Carmelo and Rudy Gay discuss Tatum not getting enough respect. And then, of course, my knee-jerk is like, well, Melo was fucking around the summer saying Tatum could never be the face of the league because he has no aura, like the made-up fucking aura. Dude fucking switched up so fast. Now he's all in. So Ratless Mello, because that pissed me off.
Ratless me almost being out of brisk too. I'm almost out, and I've got to order.
Crisis.
We did some math. So I ordered November 10th, I think it was. I ordered 9 cases of brisk, and I finished it like a week ago, or like a week and a half ago, maybe. And we did the calculations, and it was roughly 2.6 brisk a day. However, that also doesn't include like days at the garden or days home for the holidays.
Yes.
So I was up near 3 brisks a day.
That's good numbers.
It's still there. Good numbers indeed. Really wiping out the walks.
That's like it's like you putting up you're putting up 3 brisks. Julius Randle's doing 3 turnovers.
Exactly. And I would argue the brisks are more worth it. Anyways, make sure to leave a like. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to Bout Them Celtics, and all that. Sam, take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment, tell us what you thought of Celtics Bulls. We're here every single day, so hit the bell so you don't miss any of our uploads. New pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game. And other videos are up on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. Make sure you come out for the streams, too. We're doing pregame a half hour before every single game. It's a ton of fun. We love to see all of you in the chat. We even play GeoGuessr. You can find us on Spotify and Apple, too. All pods and game recaps are up there, so if you just want the audio, we've got you covered. Give us a follow. Those will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We read those on every single recording, so make sure, except for this one. I don't think we had any, though. Make sure you send in an email, hbtcpod@gmail.com. The socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jack's MoneyBay. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.